indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we start the meeting, I'd like to just take a moment to thank the Washington Hollow Rod and Gun Club for allowing our court officers to do their training.
Yep. I also asked Frank for a minute before the meeting. I would just like to congratulate publicly Johnny. Him and I ran for sobriety. He officially won. I would also like to, congratulate Mary and Mike Reifenberg, who are going to be joining this board January 1st. And I really look forward to kind of rolling up our sleeves, putting a lot of our differences aside, and working for the town. So.
I concur, and I think that's going to be a definite thing that's going to happen. We've already had a couple of conversations, and I'm very optimistic of what's going to happen after the first year.
Okay, with that, we can open the meeting for the public hearing, the continuation of the public hearing.
Yep. I'll make a motion to open the meeting to the public for the continuation of the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
This would be you guys.
Anyone here for the budget? Hearing none? Okay, I thought she was getting to. Hearing none, I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That was fast. Okay, the first resolution, we're going to open the meeting.
You don't know what to
That's
do now, huh?
the oral reports. Yeah, they caught me by
That was too
surprise.
fast.
Yeah. First one up is town clerk.
Good evening, everyone. So this is from October 20th to November 16th, what our office has taken in. Dog licenses, we did 32. Marriage licenses, we did 3. Marriage transcripts, we did 12. Death certificates, 33. Fishing and hunting licenses, we did 11. Monies to the supervisor, $960.15. Monies to the state was $923.85. The refuse station, the month of October, took in $6,525. The total for 2021 was $54,751. I still have one return check that I'm trying to collect on. The few notices have been sent out on that. Handicap tags, we did 20 for the month. We did 5 FOIL requests between my office and Planning and Zoning, and there are no FOIL requests pending. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the flu clinic that we held. The town clerk's office, along with the recreation department, partnered up with Walgreens, and we had our first flu clinic in October. We had 22 residents, seniors, and employees get their flu shot. We'll be working with Walgreens again to hold a COVID booster clinic sometime after the first of the year. Walgreens was very accommodating and wonderful to work with, and we look forward to working with them again. As a reminder, the town clerk's office is still collecting donations for the Helping Tree. This program offers our residents who cannot afford a Christmas tree the trimmings and hats, mittens, gloves, or scarves. To this date, we've helped 23 families in Pleasant Valley, and through the generous donation of the Pleasant Valley Fire Department, residents, my staff, and volunteers, we were able to make this happen. So once again, we're just asking for gently used or new Christmas trimmings, such as lights, tree stands, ornaments, stockings or tree skirts, any new or gently used hats, scarves, gloves are all appreciated. All families' names who are the recipients of these donations are held confidential. We've had some very generous donations already. The town clerk's office will be collecting them until December 10th. We had one resident who made baby sweaters, which were so gorgeous, a whole box of every color. Very, very beautiful. So I just want to touch base on something that has been going on. My deputy Jennifer in August, our maintenance men Tom and Matt discovered that Jennifer had a flat on her SUV in the town hall in the parking lot. So Matt and Tom came out and helped her, and her fiancé Rich came. 3 weeks later, Jennifer was leaving work, and the rim of her tire was tampered with, again with another flat on a different tire. In October, Jennifer was leaving work again and discovered that her back windshield wiper was broken off her SUV. On Monday, Jennifer was pulling out of the town hall parking lot and her tire was deflated. It was discovered that she had a razor intentionally stuck in her tire. We have pictures if the town council would like to see it. Also, there was a council person a few months ago who had a brand-new car, her car got scratched in the parking lot. We really need to have security cameras. We've really reached the point where this has gone to all new levels. This isn't the first incident, and this has happened over the years, inside and outside the building. We had a resident last year, had his medication stolen off his front seat. It was his cancer medication. When he came in to buy a refuse ticket, he forgot to lock his door, and when he walked out, his medication was gone, and the sheriff was called. We had a resident last year had their handicap tag stolen right off their mirror in the town hall parking lot. They came in to conduct business. When they went back out, their tag was gone. A few years ago, when the prior supervisor was here, someone vandalized the back of the building and broke the siding, and the troopers were called then also. I know this has been talked about, but there is no safety or security within these premises, inside or out. There is still no panic buttons at our desks, and it's not fair to any of the employees or the residents who come into the building. This is a real concern. I'm very concerned for my deputy, who has now had 4 incidences in the last 3 months. The razor is large, and like I said, if the town council would like to see it after the meeting, we can show you. It's still actually in the tire. Okay, so we have to just say when is enough and is enough. How many more incidents does something have to happen before we take precaution of some sort of security in this building, outside and inside? So I'd just like to do a shout out to my staff, Jennifer Adams and Kathy Miller, for the amazing job that they do every day. I'm very, very proud of my deputies, and we strive to give back to the community. I'm truly blessed to have a great staff. Thank you very much.
Okay, the Hometown Heroes Committee.
Thank you, Frank. Before I start with Hometown Heroes, if I could, please, just give an update, because it affects the town board and the rec department. I asked for approval to use the front parking lot for a coin drop for Relay for Life with the fire department. I'm sorry, Relay for Life.
Trees for Troops?
Trees for Troops, sorry. And as always, the town and the fire department work hand in hand. If it wasn't for the other would fall on their face, kind of, sort of. And we were here for 4 hours. I almost didn't have it because of the weather, but we had it anyway. And to date, I just talked with before I left, my wife had, numbers for me, but I had to add them a little bit because of something that Mary Beth told me. The fire department has taken in, to date, over $13,500 for Trees for Troops. $10,500 of that was done in 4 hours in the coin drop right here in front of Town Hall. So if you donated, thank you. If you know somebody who donated, thank you. The buckets were coming in off the street faster than we could separate the ones from the 5s to the 10s. And it was a great day, and it just shows how much this town rallies around crazy ideas that Tommy Hahn and I had about doing this 10 or 12 years ago, and the money we've taken in, and the families that we have helped have a Christmas throughout our country in our great servicemen and women. So, thank you. I really appreciate what the town board and the rec department did for us to allow that to happen. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's wonderful.
Okay. Now, I got my sidekick up here, Lisa, and I got my backup in the back, Tony, with the hometown heroes. To date, we have 16 completed applications. Well, you're always there. We have 16 completed applications with proofs back from Pro Printers in Hudson for our first 16 hometown hero banners.
Show you the one.
Yeah, we'll show you one.
I've not seen theirs yet, so we just want to pay respect to those families.
You want to,
But this one needs to be Jennifer's, so, actually it's Rich's.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's nice.
you want to pass it to the board members?
It's really pretty, it's bright, it's obviously.
Yeah, they did a fabulous job with the proofs. We're really, really happy. For those of you who don't know, we had Richie Canaro from Valley Custom Sign Shop, who made our first prints up, the one of my dad. And he was very, very unhappy to announce that he just was not going to be able to do the volume. He just couldn't do it. He got us started, he got us a blueprint for what we should have, the style and the weight of the banner and the proper ink and all that stuff. And we applaud Richie for that. And Richie's a good friend of mine, and you know, it was a hard decision for him because he's been in Pleasant Valley for a long time, and he really wanted to do it. And when he realized that he just physically couldn't, the amount was just going to be overwhelming for him with all of his other work that he does. So just so everybody knows, we have switched to Pro Printers in Hudson. We have a very good rapport with them. Mary Beth has been on the phone with them and emailing back and forth for the last 5 or 6 weeks. And when you saw the proof, and it's just great. So I'm here tonight not to just talk to you about the 16 banners, and plus we have, Mary Beth, would you say 4 more? 5 more that are pending. And Lisa, could you pass these to board members, if you would, please? Yes, please, 1 to each. The fire department had a fall festival, and I'm sitting there, and we're receiving people and talking to them about fire prevention and everything, and I'm looking at the mill site. And one of our first group of servicemen and women who we are honoring, their family is honoring with a banner, is Trevor Urista. Trevor was a KIA. He served his country well, and there's a lot of people in town with a lot of real good memories of Trevor. So his family picked a pole near the mill site, which is very fitting. So I went over with Commissioner Geerlings to the mill site, and we were looking around. Well, we were looking at a pole to hope to put a banner on of one of our first 16. And he said, yeah, we can get a pole, we can get one on there, no problem. So we continued, and we walked to the mill site. And something hit me with the mill site, with the foundation of the old mill. As you see there, board members, we just did a mock-up of a pole and a banner on top of the highest portion of the foundation of the old mill. The idea was to use that foundation of the mill for KIAs only. I know this has to come to the board, and it might even have to go further than that, whether it has to go to the Historical Society, the Recreation Department, I don't know. But you guys have been working with the committee, and this is what I want to put forth. There are 12 KIAs on the memorial right now. There's more than enough room for the 12 KIAs and then some. Hopefully, we don't have any more. And again, you don't know if every family of the 12 KIAs, unfortunately, is even around anymore, where they would want a banner on the mill site. It would entail fabricated brackets, custom brackets. We would have to come up with a pole. I was thinking about talking to Bob over here at Simmons, or we could go to Hatfields, either or. They're both pretty close. I mean, Bob's in town, Hatfields is really close. Getting their ideas of a pole and a bracket, a bracket that would be heavy enough, and then the sleeve would be tall enough to support the pole. It's just a crazy idea I had. I don't know if it can be done. I know you 5 board members have more information and knowledge than I do on what can be done at the mill site. It was a thought, and like I said, it would only be used for KIAs. That was it. That's it. All the other banners would be on the poles, the 185 poles that we've already got from Central Hudson. So I leave it to you guys to talk about it, to point us in the right direction, to whatever we need to do, and if we need to bring a lawyer into it, depending on, what can be done, I have no idea. So,
My first 2 cents from looking at this and really helping you do this like 5 seconds ago was there's enough room to get 8 of these poles at the mill site. There's 8 of those little, and I'll pop an image on the screen here in a second for people at home to watch to see so they know what we're talking about. So there's 8 of those stanchions, right? So you can rotate them 90 degrees from how they look, and you can get 2 on each.
you could, but also to the right of the furthest west portion of this picture is an archway, and behind that is a flat piece of top where the bases are. That's probably 12 or 13 feet long.
Yep.
Where we could put 3 or 4 there too. So that's where I was kind of thinking, But again, the other thing is too, if we had to, we could drop them down into the window sills themselves. That might be too close. I'm not sure, but it's something. I didn't want to do all the groundwork. I didn't want to get either Del Hatch or Simmons involved until we figured out if we could actually do it. I didn't want to waste their time to come up with a custom bracket and then figure out a flagpole. I wanted to start here first, because if we don't get the approval, everything that I've talked to them, I've wasted their time, and I don't like to waste people's time.
The only question I have, I like the idea, I do. The only question I have for Paul is this, so is the site historic? Is the mill site historic? Is it a historic site? So I don't know if we can.
Federally designated? The town of Pleasant Valley doesn't have a local historic.
Yes, we do.
You have a Historic Preservation Commission ordinance, and it's locally designated?
That I don't.
So we'd have to see and take a look. If it's locally designated, you'd have to go to whatever commission you have in order to get approval.
Okay.
If it's federally designated, there's probably not an approval process, and it can be done. I'm assuming it's town property, so then an action the town board could do it.
There's already
Yep.
all the memorial with the
Right.
names and all that on there.
Yep, so I would just say the only caveat would be if it's locally designated. And I'll take a quick look at the code book in a second.
So Jeff, real quickly, the only thing that I see just off the top of my head, I thought the same thing with the Historical Society, but how tall will these poles be? Because we just talked about vandalism. Okay?
John, I know.
I could climb that, and I'm a heavy guy. I can get up there, and, if I was that kind of a person, that would be the only thing. And if you're going taller, how much do you have to go into the pole, into the stand? Does it hurt the integrity of the wall? Those are little things that we could find out. And then we would have to go to, obviously, cameras again, because we want to protect our assets. So.
Would those be the same size
Just
as the banners, like your father's banner?
Yes, the banners would be the same size, 30 by 60. John, I thought about that too, and my thought was a flat base with the sleeve coming up with 4 or 6 pile holes drilled into whatever that is, and I'm not sure what that stone is. But we would have to go with the recommendation of the fabricator. And my thought was at least 12 feet, because you have a 60-inch banner. So you'd want to get it to the top, the highest part of the pole as you can. So, and it's sad that we have to think about this.
Right. The only problem with that, the higher you go, the stronger the base has to be, and how further you have to go. That's the only thing we got to find out.
Right. So, listen, I'm sorry, go ahead, Frank.
From gathering what we're talking about here, the next question I would have would be cost. So, because I know.
Well, I was talking with a townsperson who happens to be a cousin of mine, Terry Cronk, and we were talking about it. And we thought we could do a spaghetti dinner, a donation spaghetti dinner only, once we can get back into the firehouses, something like that. My thought was to raise enough money so the families wouldn't have to incur the extra cost of the base and the pole, just the banner like they would if it was going on one of the utility poles.
Well, so the reason I'm asking is because we're trying to wrap the budget up for the year, right? And my 2 cents is that I'm wondering if we ask the bookkeeper and the supervisor nicely, we might be able to squeeze some money this year to pay for it. So if you can get us pricing, I know.
The problem is, though, if we can't do this, right.
Well, I know, so, but. I guess my 2 cents would be, we would have to find out first if we could do it, and then once you get the green light from Paul that says that it's really up to the board, then we would need a price, because that's really what we're approving.
Right.
So I think the only question is whether or not it's on the Registry of Historic Properties, and if it is, there is a process to obtain a certificate of appropriateness, which would be an application to the planning board with criteria for review, and they could issue a certificate of appropriateness. So it sounds like it's probably on the registry, so then
Okay.
it would be just an application to the planning board for certificate of appropriateness.
Okay.
Well, if we have a Veterans Memorial built on the mill site, which we do, why can't we have the KIA Hometown Hero banners there? If the Veterans Memorial is appropriate, I surely would think that these banners are.
I'm pretty sure that Carl Rennia, when he was the manager of the region here, he had to go through that same process for the mill site, for that Veterans project.
Probably.
I can double check with Carl, just to see.
It's not listed on the National Registry database.
Not local historic, the local
Oh,
registry.
all right.
So pursuant to town code, there's established a historic register, and if it's on that, then there's a procedure to require a certificate of appropriateness, and there's a procedure and criteria.
I thought, okay. So, yeah, well, I guess what we need to find out is if it's on that list, and then we'll let you know to get pricing if it's not.
And again, it doesn't mean just because it's on the list that it can't be done,
Right,
it's just
no, I
there's a
understand.
process that has
Well,
to be gone through.
I meant for getting it under the wire of squeezing,
Right.
Just a quick note, I had an opportunity to speak with Lisa one afternoon, and something maybe you haven't thought about, maybe you have, sponsors for, we were talking about, I think originally was for people who could not afford the banners themselves, not forget it, the polls aside, but they can't afford the banners themselves, seeking out sponsors in the area that would actually sponsor the banner.
I think you already have.
Who have come to me to be an anonymous sponsor.
Yeah,
Yes.
we do have a few already that would want to do that. And Lisa just whispered in my ear if it might even be more feasible, possibly, to do maybe like a bronze plaque instead of the banner, you wouldn't have the expense of the bracket and the pole and everything, just the bronze plaque.
Well, bronze plaque
It's more expensive than all of
is
it.
extremely expensive.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really thousands. Something similar. It's like thousands.
Okay, so maybe, I mean, it would be nice, but, so, listen, we have a committee, but our door is open. Our, Mary Beth's mailbox is open for suggestions. Anybody has thoughts about, the brackets and the polls and who might be able to help us. Anybody that has an idea, especially the board members, if you have a thought of something, just, throw it in a mailbox. We're open to anything. We're trying to do what's right for the people who allowed us to be here tonight talking about this. So, I thank you for your time. I thank you for all of your support, and we're moving forward, and we're going to hang these first 16 banners as soon as we get them. Thank you.
County legislator?
Can I ask a question?
No.
Later in the meeting, not yet.
It's related to the banner.
You can ask one of the committee members, but not, unfortunately, yeah.
We haven't opened it to the public yet.
Good evening. Deirdre Houston, Dutchess County Legislator. My fellow legislator, Don Sagliano, sends his regrets, but he is a member of another county office that needed a quorum tonight, so he's at that meeting. Just wanted to update you guys, we are knee-deep in the budget process for the county, as you probably are aware. We've held our public hearing, and that was a success. And tonight, we went over budget amendments, and there's been a few budget amendments offered up. Legislator Sagliano offered up a budget amendment to refund up to $1 million the Learn, Play, Create grant that we had this fall that was so successful for the youth and nonprofits. And we have ran out of money. It's all been funded, the $3.1 million. So we are going to reopen it. As I said, Legislator Sagliano offered an amendment to fund it to $1 million for this coming year. So that will be something we'll talk about in January when that happens. But, we just mostly wanted to come tonight to make sure you guys were good, see if you need anything from us, and move forward. Do you have any questions for me? No. Great. Thanks.
Thank you, Deirdre.
Recreation update?
Good evening. I want to thank the town board and the public for the opportunity to discuss our recreation programs tonight. I'll try to keep it short and sweet. I didn't realize that Mr. Cady was going to leave so fast, but I wanted to thank him for the kind words. I'm so glad the Trees for Troops was such a great success. And as he stated, working together is always the best atmosphere. I'll start with our Pleasant Valley Junior Board. Councilwoman Albrecht, Assistant Rec Director Danielle Salzowitz, and myself continue to meet each week with this group of young boys and girls. I want to thank Rich Chapman for his many hours of dedication and leadership with these energetic teens in constructing our Letters to Santa mailbox. His invaluable involvement in this project included tool usage and tool safety, and of course his famous motto, measure twice, cut once, and design of the mailbox. I was hoping to get here early enough to bring the mailbox up, but it's in the back of the room and it's not done yet. They're going to finish it up this week, tomorrow night, and then it'll be available starting this coming Monday, November 22nd, in the Town Hall foyer for our youngsters to deliver their letters to Santa. These letters will be individually entered as they have been in the past. Our group of teens will start stuffing the Santa gift bags this week and will also be helping us to distribute them to the children the night of the Festival of Lights Parade. PV basketball. I want to thank Ray Newsom for his dedication and involvement in our basketball program as the basketball director. Ray has decided to step down to pursue his interest in coaching soccer. We want to thank him for his service. On another note regarding basketball, I have been working cooperatively with Arlington Central School District on a solution that will benefit the children of our community. I hope to have this solution shortly. Please check our website or Facebook page for updates. Our senior citizen program. As you know, Lisa Aravena, our senior citizen coordinator, has been doing a great job with introducing new activities and trips in the short time since the start of the drop-in mid-July. The last trip was to Villa Roma for a fun-filled day that included an awesome show, which was a tribute to Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers. We now have senior exercise provided by the LaGrange Recreation Director, Courtney Carroll. We just had their Halloween party, and this Friday will be the Thanksgiving luncheon with live music from the Harvest Duo. In cooperation with our town clerk, Mary Beth Muir, we had our flu clinic. December, they will have their Christmas luncheon and live music. PV Festival of Lights Parade. This will be the first Saturday in December, December 4th, with our parade lineup at 5:45. Parade start at 6:45. We will be lining up the floats on North Avenue between Sherrill Road and Martin Road, with the walkers lining up in the entrance to Bauer Park. We have our guest celebrity, Santa Claus, along with Mrs. Claus's debut in the horse-drawn carriage, compliments of Don Veet and Brian Lynch of Lynch Farms, Goshen, Connecticut. Jen Adams is organizing the float registrations, and we are up to approximately 20 registrants. We continue to receive inquiries and registrations on a daily basis. To register and for up-to-the-minute info, please go to www.pvfol.com. Light Up the Hudson Valley. This is a new endeavor that our county group of professionals has organized. I'll have Danielle come up for a minute or two to explain the particulars. Yeah, what is...
Hello, everyone. We've teamed up with local rec departments through Hudson Valley Leisure to bring you Light Up the Hudson Valley. Have you ever worked really hard on your own incredible light display and have no idea how to let the world see it? Well, also, have you ever been driving around looking for that incredible light display and you can't find it? Well, here it is. If you go to PleasantValleyRec.com, we have instructions on how to sign up for it, and we can make all this happen for you. So we look forward to people signing up for it and showing you the displays of the Hudson Valley. Thank you.
Thank you.
And last but not least, our soccer director, Tracy Santiago, has done a tremendous job in beefing up both our in-house and inter-town soccer programs. Our fall season is winding down this weekend, and I'm going to have Tracy come up and elaborate on it. Thank you.
These board meetings really sneak up on you. Our soccer season is still going. Thank you to our very cooperative weather this season, except for this past weekend. It's supposed to be our last in-house weekend. We had our tournament, which is a fun and exciting way for the kids to put their skills that they've learned all season long into a fun-filled, packed day where they play more than just one game. The U9-10 division battled all morning, and the final two teams made it to a scoreless double overtime when the ref and the coaches were deciding whether to go into a third overtime or a 5-shot penalty kick decision maker. We were answered with a tremendous clap of thunder, and so we will have a makeup game this Saturday to decide the winners for our in-house program. It is the season that never ends. We also have a U7A group that unfortunately had to quarantine for a game because of COVID exposure, so they are going to have a fun makeup game. The U5-6 ended their season with a parents versus kids game, which everyone really enjoyed. It was a lot of fun. Soccer Tots was awesome. We had quite a fun group of Soccer Tots came out. We always end that on Spooky Soccer Weekend where the kids get to dress up and play. So we had dinosaurs, we had a waste management truck playing soccer. It was a lot of fun. Finally, our girls U12, our boys U12, our boys U15 teams, and our our co-ed U15 teams and our co-ed U19 team wrap up their LDT season with this weekend's final game. I know for sure that the boys U12 and the girls U12 are home. If anyone wants to come out and watch these really talented bunch of kids, both girls and boys teams are having a tremendous season. They're at West Road. The girls are playing at 10 a.m. The boys are playing at 12.
At 12, and we are undefeated.
You're undefeated. I'd like to add that the girls lost one game this season. It was their first game. They had their redemption game against that team last weekend where they redeemed themselves. It was nice. So come out, come see what these kids are doing for our community. These are the kids that travel to other towns wearing our town logo on their shirts. They are representing us. They are doing it well. They are polite and well-mannered, and they fight hard on that field. And it's a lot of fun to come watch. I look forward to speaking to you guys next month, where I will get to thank every single volunteer that helped out with this great, tremendous soccer season.
Thanks, Tracy.
Okay, open the meeting to the public.
I'll make a motion, we open the meeting to the public for agenda items only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
New business comes later, just as a FYI.
Didn't this lady want to speak on
Yeah,
that?
now would be, so now's the time for your question.
I just wanted to ask, I think I asked Mary before, how much do the banners cost?
$200.
Hometown Hero.
$200.
And if a family can't afford it, we can chip in or make a donation towards that?
Yes, I have a list of sponsors. Yes, if you'd like to do
That's
that,
all I
just,
So
know
nobody's
someone.
going to be denied if they want it?
Never. No
Okay.
one will ever be denied.
That's what I wanted.
Never.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Hearing none, I close the meeting to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we get down to new business. First of all, a resignation of the basketball director.
Yep, well, Tracy kind of,
Did we do this already?
we talked about it.
We talked about it.
We talked about it. So, yeah, Ray resigned. Thank you, Ray, for your service. He's a friend. And so now do we have a resolution to appoint somebody else?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Okay, then, closing the town hall and rec department for Christmas Eve.
I mean, is it voting hour?
Mary Beth, the only two people in the building. And the assessor.
Oh, okay.
It's Friday.
Oh, I gotcha. Oh, yeah, we're 9 to 1, and it's just you and the assessor that day, right? I gotcha, okay.
We can just make a motion on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll make a motion?
Yeah.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay.
Now we go into the resolutions. The first one is Resolution Number 1101, 2021, resolution adopting local law number 1 of the year 2021, a local law adopted pursuant to cannabis law number 131, opting out of the licensing and establishing on-site cannabis consumption establishments within the town of Pleasant Valley. Whereas a resolution was duly adopted by the Town Board of Town of Pleasant Valley, introducing a proposed local law entitled Local Law Number 1 of the year 2021, a local law adopted pursuant to Cannabis Law Number 131, opting out of licensing and established on-site cannabis consumption establishments within the Town of Pleasant Valley. And whereas the public hearing was duly advertised in a local official newspaper of the town, as required by law, and whereas a public hearing was held on November 3rd, and all parties in attendance were permitted an opportunity to speak on behalf or in opposition to said proposed local law or any part thereof. And whereas the town board determined that the proposed local law is a type 2 action, and adoption of this local law is otherwise exempt from environmental review pursuant to State Environmental Quality Review Act. And whereas the town board, after due deliberation, finds that it is the best interest of the town to adopt said local law, and whereas the local law has been on the desk of the members of the town board for at least 7 days, exclusive of Sunday prior to the adoption of this resolution, now therefore be it resolved, the town board hereby adopts, subject to permissive referendum, the local law entitled Local Law Number 1 of 2021, a local law adopted pursuant to Cannabis Law 131, opting out of licensing and establishing on-site cannabis consumption establishments within the town of Pleasant Valley in the form annexed hereto, and be it further resolved that the town clerk is directed to post and publish notice of adoption of the local law subject to permissive referendum in the form annexed hereto.
So moved.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, resolution number 1102 of 2021. Resolution adopted local law number 2 of the year 2021, a local law adopted pursuant to Cannabis Law number 131, opting out of licensing and establishing retail cannabis dispensaries within the town of Pleasant Valley. Whereas a resolution was duly adopted by the town board, the town of Pleasant Valley, introducing a proposed local law entitled Local Law Number 2 of the year 2021, and local law adopted pursuant to Cannabis Law Number 131, opting out of the licensing and establishing retail cannabis dispensaries within the town of Pleasant Valley. And whereas the public hearing was duly advertised in the official newspaper of the town as required by law, and whereas the public hearing was held on November 3rd, and all parties in attendance were permitted an opportunity to speak on behalf or in opposition of the said proposed local law, any part thereof, and whereas the town board determined that this proposed law is a type 2 action, and adoption of this local law is otherwise exempt from environmental review pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act, whereas the town board, after due deliberation, finds it is in the best interest of the town to adopt said local law, and whereas the local law has been on the desk of the members of the town board for at least 7 days, exclusive of Sunday prior to the adoption of this resolution, now therefore be resolved, the town board hereby adopts, subject to permissive referendum, the local law entitled Local Law Number 2 of the year 2021, a local law adapted pursuant to Cannabis Law Number 131, opting out of licensing and established retail cannabis dispensaries within the town of Pleasant Valley or in the form annexed hereto, and further resolved, the town clerk is directed to post and publish a notice of adoption of a local law subject to permissive referendum in the form annexed hereto.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we're here. Okay. Number 11-3 of 2021, resolution adopting the annual budget for fiscal year 2022. Whereas in October 1st, 2021, the town board accepted the preliminary budget and scheduled a public hearing in accordance with the provisions of the Town Law 106, and whereas the public hearing on the preliminary budget was held on October 20th at 7 p.m., adjourned to November 3rd, 2021, and November 17th, 2021, and all the parties in attendance were permitted an opportunity to speak on behalf or in opposition of the proposed annual budget for the fiscal year 2022. And whereas the town board has taken into consideration all the comments made by the public at the public hearing, as well as the comments of the board, now therefore be resolved that pursuant to the provisions of the Town Law 109, the town board hereby amends the 2022 budget as follows. Line 1010.4, legislative board, increase $5,000. The final amount is $5,300. That was for training for newly elected officials. Line 878, transfer to capital reserve, increase $390,000, final amount $390,000, transfer to the infrastructure reserve account. A5599, appropriated fund balance, increase $440,027, final amount $440,027, use available fund balance to reduce the property tax levy. A2110, zoning fees, decrease $11,000 to $44,000, and reducing the revenue estimate by 20%. Planning fees, decreased by $2,200, final amount $8,800, reduce revenue by 20%. A2555, building permits, decreased by $32,000, final amount $128,000, reduce revenue by estimate by 20%. L7410.4, library appropriations, increase by $55,000, final amount $495,000. The library budget referendum passed. Library real property tax, L1001, library real property tax, increase $55,000, final amount $495,000. The library referendum passed. Resolved that pursuant to the accordance of the provisions of the Town Law 109 and other applicable provisions of the law, the annexed preliminary budget is revised above, is hereby approved and adopted as the final annual budget of the Town of Pleasant Valley for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2022. And be it further resolved, the town clerk is hereby directed to enter the annual budget adopted herein in the minutes of the town board. And be it further resolved that the town clerk and the town and supervisor are hereby directed to transmit the 2022 annual budget to Dutchess County in the manner prescribed by Town Law 115. And further be it resolved that the town board further directs and the amounts identified in the annual budget adopted herein shall be appropriated in the fiscal year 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You want to? Your voice go a little more? Go ahead.
All right, I'll read the next one for you. Amending the 2021 general fund budget, whereas the town of Pleasant Valley has expenditure and revenue for the 2021 adopted budget items that will adjust the amounts in such budget lines, and whereas the bookkeeper finds it necessary to amend the 2021 budget to meet these adjustments, and be it resolved that the town board of the town of Pleasant Valley hereby authorizes, empowers, and directs the supervisor to amend the 2021 adopted budget as follows. Account A 1620.421 telephone, increase $1,000. Account A 1670.413 office supplies, increase $1,500. Account A 1320.400 auditing and accounting services, increase $10,000. Account A 6410.400 legal ads for meetings, increase $500. Account 1355.499 assessor, increase $300. A 7110.416 general parks, trees and mowing, increase $22,500. And account A 2555 building permits revenue, increase $35,800. I will make a motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye. You want me to go again?
I'll go.
Okay.
Then you can do the...
I'll do the next one. I'll do the next one.
Yeah. Okay, Town Board Resolution Number 1105, 2021, budget modification to the 2021 general fund. Whereas the Town Board of Town of Pleasant Valley has an expenditure and revenue for 2021 adopted budget line items that will adjust the amounts of such budget lines, and whereas the department heads find necessary to amend the 2021 adopted budget to meet these adjustments. Resolved, the Town Board of Town of Pleasant Valley hereby authorizes, empowers, and directs the bookkeeper and the town supervisor to modify the 2021 adopted budget as follows. Account A, .7110.401, field materials, increase $4,245. A, 7110.405, facility repairs, increase $4,000. A, 7110.429, parks and maintenance, repairs and maintenance, $1,800. And account number A, 7140.451, youth basketball, decreased by $10,045.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. You want me to do this one too?
I'll do it. Oh, we can go back and forth if you want. I'm here.
All right.
All right. Authorizing payment of abstract 11 of 2021, whereas the town board of the town of Pleasant Valley has audited the bills presented by the town clerk and an abstract has been compiled. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board hereby authorizes the town supervisor to pay all claims as follows. General fund claims, $95,187.16. Highway fund claims, $317,440.86. Ambulance, $13,420. Streetlights, $4,141.58. Capital projects, $7,807.70. Prepaid expense, $6,683.95. And the hometown heroes, $1,200. I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Town Board Resolution Number 1107, 2021, authorizing payment of abstract number 11P of 2021. Whereas the Town of Pleasant Valley Town Board has audited the bills presented to the consultant escrow fees as specified by Town Code 82-15, 98-91, and so forth, by the town clerk, and an abstract has been compiled, and now therefore be resolved, the town board authorized the town supervisor to pay all claims as follows. Abstract 11 of 2021, planning and escrow, $947.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Authorizing appointment of the Town of Pleasant Valley basketball director. Whereas there is a vacancy in the Recreation Department in the position of basketball director, and whereas a basketball director is considered to be in the labor class pursuant to the rules of classified civil service of Dutchess County as a sports official, and whereas the Recreation Director, on behalf of the Town Board of the Town of Pleasant Valley, has interviewed a previous Pleasant Valley basketball director for such position, and whereas Richard Chapman has expressed interest in serving in the capacity again, now therefore be it resolved that Richard Chapman is hereby appointed to the position of sports official / basketball director for the Town of Pleasant Valley, and be it further resolved that the salary stipend shall be established by the 2021 adopted town budget, and be it further resolved that the town supervisor and the town bookkeeper are hereby authorized and directed to file any and all documents necessary to effectuate the intent of this resolution, and determine that the minimum qualifications pursuant to Dutchess County Civil Service regulations are met, and be it further resolved that the resolution should take effect immediately. I make a motion.
Second.
Discussion.
Okay.
So this is a civil service position, correct?
Yeah.
So did this person take the civil service exam?
No, it's just because it's a civil service position, it's not a tested position.
Is it something that has to go to the civil service list or anything like that?
It doesn't go on a list. It's not non-competitive, sorry, yeah, thank you, that's the word I was looking for.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, resolution number 1109, 2021, appointment of a Town of Pleasant Valley Recreation Assistant, part-time. Whereas the Town of Pleasant Valley intends to operate various programs open to its residents and members of the public, causing the need for a recreation assistant, part-time, and whereas there currently exists a vacancy for the position of recreation assistant, part-time, and whereas Anthony Miller has expressed interest in being appointed as a recreation assistant, part-time, and he is qualified for the said position. Now therefore be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Pleasant Valley does hereby designate and appoint Anthony Miller as recreation assistant, part-time, for a maximum of 10 hours a week at the rate of $15 per hour commencing on November 18th, And further be it resolved, the position of recreation assistant part-time shall be paid out of the senior citizens budget line, A.7620.100. And therefore be it resolved that the position of recreation assistant part-time shall be subject to a probationary period of not less than 8 weeks or more than 26 weeks, commencing on November 18th, and shall be subject to performance review no earlier than 8 weeks nor later than 22 weeks from the commencement of the date. And further be it resolved, the town board instructs the town supervisor and the town bookkeeper to complete any paperwork necessary for this appointment.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry. Oh, we're taking turns, I forgot, I'm sorry. I was waiting for him to read the next one. Resolution number 1110 of 2021, authorizing closure of Quaker Hill Road for Pleasant Valley Festival of Lights. Whereas the town of Pleasant Valley will be hosting the Pleasant Valley Festival of Lights on December 4th, 2021, and whereas the Pleasant Valley Recreation Department has requested the closure of Quaker Hill Road during the time of this event with the concurrence of the highway superintendent, and whereas the town board of the town of Pleasant Valley has the authority to close highways in the town of Pleasant Valley to allow public assembly pursuant to vehicle and traffic law 1660 subset 6, now therefore be it resolved that the pursuant to vehicle traffic law, the town board of the town of Pleasant Valley hereby directs that Quaker Hill Road shall be closed on Saturday, December 4th from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m., and there should be no on-street parking from 4:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturday, December 4th for the Festival of Lights. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be sent to the Pleasant Valley Recreation Department, the Pleasant Valley Fire District, the Dutchess County Sheriff's Office, the New York State Police, and the Superintendent of Highways. And I will make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I think so. I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
You gotta open the meeting.
Oh, sorry, whoa, yeah, we missed the whole portion of this meeting. Whoa, we were jumping the gun. I'll make a motion that we open the meeting to the public for new business.
Second.
Before we get to that, I just made a note. So if I take a truck and go pick up the couches that are all over 44 and bring them to the dump, do I get charged, or do I charge the person I'm picking it up from? It's starting to collect now. It's getting to be. I don't know. It started with 1, and then we had 2, and now we're up to 3.
Is it in Pleasant Valley?
Huh?
Yeah, it's all over.
Yeah, they're in Pleasant Valley.
It's in Pleasant Valley?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Highway, and they go pick it up.
Yeah, Highway will go pick it up.
It's starting to look like the Reese store's backyard.
I had asked in planning and zoning whether the landlord could be ticketed, because it's obviously from the apartments.
I gotta believe, yeah.
So I don't know what's happening with that. They were looking into it.
So I'll make a note to call John and see if we can.
The town highway will pick it up unless it's on a town road.
So that'd be a
State road.
state road.
That's a state road. But he just said, you think that they should be able to...
Well, if it's apartments, there should be a section under the property maintenance code that deals with debris on and around the property that should be able to be enforced by your building inspector.
That's what I thought, yeah.
So he could ticket it, and then if it is not abated in a period of time, the town can abate it, and if the town chooses to use their own equipment, people, manpower to do it, they can do it.
And give them the bill, correct?
And the cost of it would go on to the...
Property.
Right.
We got to vote, though, to open the meeting. We motioned, we didn't vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just because that should have been part of that. But, yeah.
Gary Peters, South One Turnpike, Pleasant Valley. It's probably not new business, but I'll have it over with before my time's out. I'd like to congratulate all those who were in the local election. Have been on both sides of elections, it's just as hard to win as to lose. And I hope that we can all work together next year. It was a very long year, and I hope that we do not have any further elections like we had this year. Congratulations to the winners. Congratulations to those who put their names forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mary Beth, I think I had asked you a question in Town Hall one day. Festival of Lights. We have the first woman commissioner in the fire department here. Ginny Johnson, Eileen Johnson. She is the first woman commissioner in Dutchess County.
No, she's not.
What do you mean, no?
I was commissioner for 5 years and chairman of the board in Arlington.
Oh, that's Arlington, I'm talking about Pleasant Valley.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll correct myself, in Pleasant Valley. I wanted to know if she could be the Grand Marshal for the Festival of Lights.
The committee had talked, they're reaching out to her.
Okay, good.
For something else. No, they have something else planned, but it's very nice.
She did.
But they're reaching out to her.
Yeah, because we don't do a grand marshal for the Festival of
Yeah, they
Lights.
really don't do a grand marshal in the Festival of Lights.
Are you going to do, is she going to do something for in the Festival of Lights?
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right, that's what I
And
wanted to know.
just for the record, you have to state your name and,
Donna Ray Truehead, 48 Waterloo, Pleasant Valley, New York, 12569. Do you need a phone number too?
No.
I have 2 of those.
No, it's just for minutes purposes.
Okay.
no, we don't want the phone number out there.
She is going to be recognized.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Discussion.
Okay, good, thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Jeff Cady, Netherwood Road. I forgot to, before when I was talking about the Trees for Troops, Saturday, November 27th, at Han Farm at 9 o'clock, there will be coffee and donuts, and then we will be proceeding to load 2 FedEx tractor trailers with Christmas trees, over 400 this year. So everybody is welcome to come. If you just want to grab a hold of a tree or stand there and drink a cup of coffee, we want to get more of the town people involved in this because it's, yes, the fire company is doing it, but it's a town-wide thing, as you can tell by our coin drop. So anybody is welcome. Please show up. Like I said, bring a pair of gloves, grab a tree, or just stand there and drink a cup of coffee and kibitz with my father.
Is that the apple cider donuts with the sugar? Because then I'll show.
Are you providing them? Thank you.
9 o'clock, November 27th, at Han Farm. It'll be across the street from where he sells his stuff. We're hoping to have a ladder truck, as long as we can get the ladder truck into the field, light up like we did last year. And we'll grow the trees. A bunch of help with the area fire companies and if anybody wants to know.
Anyone else?
I'd just like to say one thing.
State your name and address.
Mary Beth, Town Clerk. I'd just like to say Buckley Air Force Base in Denver, Colorado, has also had a collection for Trees for Troops for our community. And they raised several hundreds of dollars. So they were very, very proud.
That's where your daughter is?
That's where my daughter is. And they were very, very proud to contribute. They thought it was they'd never heard of it, and they thought it was such a wonderful, wonderful thing that the firehouse and Jeff Cady has done. So recognition to Jeff, and it was Jeff's and Tommy Hahn and his wife idea. He just don't want to. But,
It's not just me.
well, it's a whole, yes, it's a whole bunch of,
Jeff, take the bow, I got water pills, I got.
yeah. Take the bow, Jeff, take the bow. But we just wanted to say that they just thought it was such a wonderful, wonderful thing that this community was doing. So,
Awesome. Hearing none, I move to close the meeting to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. We already made a motion and second to adjourn the meeting, technically. All we got to do is vote on it now.
Okay, so, all in favor?
Aye.
We did.
Aye.